What's going on? What's going on, guys? This is your man, Real Deal, Steele, coming to you live for a special midnight Market Watch edition. It is late Sunday evening, early Monday morning, whichever you want to categorize it in. Personally, I don't like to categorize anything in the next day until I wake up the next day. So it's Sunday night. It's Sunday night for all intents and purposes. I'm going to put it in Sunday night. Great to see you guys. Probably be more of an intimate stream tonight. Not as many folks going on late in the twilight on a Sunday isn't the most advantageous time to stream for most people. But I just thought I would, just do a little show tonight, a little bit of a hangout, and just kind of just look over the market together and talk about that, and just seeing where I'll share my thoughts on where I think it's going to go over the next few weeks here, and what we're looking at right now, and try to answer any of your questions and stuff like that. So if you haven't smashed that like button, if you could just take a moment to do that, it's very helpful. Also, if you're brand new here, I'd like to welcome you. You're watching Steven Steele Live. I'm Steven Steele. And also, if you feel compelled to super chat anywhere else throughout the duration of this broadcast, that's obviously hugely appreciated for all my time and efforts put forward. You can do that through YouTube, the usual super chat through YouTube, or through PayPal if that's easier for you as well. You can PayPal super chat through the Stream Elements link pinned at the top of the chat. Either way, I'm keeping a close eye on both. And yeah, who do we got in here? We've got Audio Freak, of course, and we got Zombie Doge Arm. We've got is that it? We got Crypto Daniel. We've got Greg99. Welcome. And we got some lurkers too, and some more people will flow in here as the show picks up pace. Shidoshi Ramon. Okay, all right. How was your thing today, Stephen? Your thing. What is that thing, sir, that you speak of? If you are alluding to, I had an appearance on Ross Nichols' stream earlier today. That went quite well. We had a really, really good talk. It was actually a lot earlier. Every time we do these streams, he and I mix up the timing because he's over in the UK, and what he says is Pacific time is definitely wasn't Pacific time to me. So it was just one of those things where, so I think I notified some of you guys that stream was actually later in the day than it actually turned out to be. It actually was, I think it started around 1 p.m. my time today, Central Standard Time. But Ross and I had a really great talk. We talked about anything we actually ended up spending a great deal of time talking about the evolution of the NFT market, the technology surrounding it, and what we were speculating on future applications and utility, and what it's going to look like in a few years from now, and a lot of other innovations that are probably, we felt that we're probably going to surround that sort of thing. And then we also talked about Blade Runner for about, it feels like a half hour. You get me talking about Blade Runner with someone else who's also fond of the film. Hard to get me to be quiet. So we talked about that as well, and then we also obviously talked about Dogecoin and the developments. So a little bit into the bridge. The thing is, when I'm on his show, we don't get too much into that side, and I have to bite my tongue from asking him too many tech questions that I want to ask a mind like Ross. But it's his show, it's his frame, so we need to be respectful of that, and he did a really nice job with it. Now, we're going to have Ross on this show before not too long, within the next month, that we decided, talking after the stream, that he's going to come on here. So we're going to have Ross on here, and we're going to try to actually get Ross on here a little bit more, and he said he was definitely open to that and thought that would be a good idea. So Ross, we're going to work Ross in a little bit more than once every 3 months here on the show, and he and I just get along fantastically. Maybe it's the Englishman thing. He is English by both blood and geographic location. I'm Englishman by blood only. And I had my traditional English cap on, and he was donning his top hat. So it was kind of the meeting of the headgear, there. But let's see, Northwoods Peachtree. Now that's a name I haven't seen in the chat in quite some time. Good to see you back in the mix, sir. And welcome. Quarter one of the super cycle, Crypto Daniel says. Elijah Peterson, welcome. Yeah, we definitely have some third shifters up in here that tune into the show, especially since I'm one of the later streamers, to put it mildly, out there. So glad I could help keep you company, through your third shifting. Newer people coming back saying, "Oh, wow, you got a camera now? What's going on?" Yep. I made the leap about 2 weeks ago now. We've been doing predominantly live camera streams now. I'm not gonna lie, it's still a little bit of an adjustment for me, but I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. Wow, I got a lot of windows open here and just trying to put some method to the madness. And Donnie DeVille, Wesley, awesome. Great to see you guys. You know, how the market's behaving right now is it's very typical. It's very typical to what even talked about those of you who were with me on my last stream last night. What was one of my parting words to you guys? I said, please do not be surprised or discouraged if the market starts trading sideways as it is right now for a little while. And I said, and it might even depress a little bit and then trade sideways from there. And that's exactly what's happening now. It's exactly what I was seeing in those algorithmic tea leaves, if you will. And I'm still sticking. My track record has been increasingly more accurate on things of this nature. But those of you who have been watching me frequently know, all the way through September, I said, now expect a higher probability of a bull run coming in. Not really as much towards the beginning of October as much as starting in the middle of October. And I still am sticking by that. Of course, don't get me wrong, we have seen a really encouraging shift out of Red September, starting right on the first of the month. That's been very encouraging, very, very bullish signals. But I don't really think it's really going to get its real legs, its real jet fuel, if you will, until closer to the middle of the month. That's just everything that I'm seeing. So it's all about patience, folks. It's all about patience. But I think we're definitely going to get there. And from everything I've also been looking at too, I think once it really takes off, that we are going to see that continue for a substantial period of time. I think we're going to see an overall bullish looking market, pretty high probability likelihood from mid October-ish all the way through the end of the year into the new year, frankly. Diamond Hands 69, welcome. Says smash that likes. Yeah, smash them. I love it. I got a little bit of a Halloween decorations here. I got a little skull back there. We got some pumpkin action around here as well. And I'm gearing up on little travel containers of toothpaste to give to children when they come by for trick or treat at my apartment. Just because I like to see their reactions. And then once I give them the little tubes of toothpaste, then I actually pull out the candy for them. But I first give them a little tube of toothpaste because the reactions are really, really quite priceless. Watching Bitcoin all day, Donnie says, fourth hour looks like it's setting up to break through resistance. Yeah, look, the bottom line is overall, I think we are going to continue to see positive trends with some retracements that have been going on right now. But I really don't think the bull market really kicks in for about another week and a half, gang. Now, I would love to be proved to be wrong, but everything that I'm seeing, and then when I look at that up against recent crypto history, that's what it's telling me. Spooky stuff, yeah. That's a real human skull, you guys. I want your skull. I need your skull. A few of you might know that song. We'll just put them back there for now. Let's see. Making paper wallets with 10 Dogecoin in each to hand out for Halloween. That's a very ambitious project, Audio Freak. Good for you. That's gonna definitely make some people's day. Despicable Lou, I like that. Doge to Mars after $1. Like I've said before, the best part about making it to Mars is that we then making it to the moon is that we then go to Mars. The moon is only one of the stops on our journey to Mars and beyond. And who knows, after that, it could be Uranus. Then Dogecoin could be going directly to your Uranus after Mars. That might make some people feel a bit uncomfortable. Others are really looking forward to it. Myself, I'm just more looking forward to getting to the moon first, and then we'll start thinking about it later. Hector the Dude, one more person to hit that like button. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Josh Rangel disavows. Welcome, sir. Good to see you. Good to see you in the mix. Yeah, as we stands now, guys, we are trading exactly sideways to where we were 24 hours ago at this time. And I really don't need these headphones right now when I'm by myself. I more need the headphones when I have my co-hosts, my esteemed colleagues or co-hosts or guests. And by the way, I bought these headphones when I was like in a pickle. I'm not a fan of Beats, but I needed some headphones. I had a very special event, and my previous headphones stopped working, so I had to get these like on the same day. And so they're Beat headphones, and they're just awful. They're just built just very horribly, very shoddy. They're not even maybe 4 months old, and they're just falling apart and dilapidating. Terrible. I've never been a fan of Beats. I like KOSS, K-O-S-S. I think they do a really good job. Some Audio-Technica stuff, and then some German brands. If you want to get more high end, but don't buy any Beats products. It's just overrated, overpriced marketed garbage. Did Floki go up? That's a good question and a good topic of discussion to get into right now. I did make a modest investment into that solely based off of the obvious, right? And I didn't put too much in at all. But I thought I had pulled my investment out on that shortly after Elon's tweet of Floki, but we'll see. I don't think it went through, so let me check on it right now. I'm opening up my Pancake Swap in my browser, and I will let you know. I am still I'm a somewhat disappointed Floki token holder. For whatever reason, the swap, I tried to swap it out and cash it out, but it did not go through, so I am still a Floki holder. It did, in their defense, it did seem to stabilize at a decent place, which is a pretty decent sign for its potential longer-term viability. I mean, by longer term, I mean with, over the next 6 months or so. I'm not saying this project's going to be around in a couple years from now, but Is it enough for me to keep my little small investment in there? Yeah, sure. I also know that the Floki team is getting ready to unleash a pretty substantial marketing budget, a blanketing marketing campaign, which you really don't usually see that that kind of budget being executed, that kind of marketing budget being executed on a BSC project. So I think that could, I wouldn't count it out. Beats are crap. Skull Candy. I've never really messed with Skull Candy. I come from a recording artist background, so I really prioritize quality, and I'm even when I was buying these beats, I knew. Look at this, and I haven't even put these through any hardware, but like, look at this. It's just I had to tape up this side just to keep it together. This side's dilapidating and falling apart at the seams. The sound it's adequate, but it's nothing special. A Walkman. You know what I really miss? A few of you might remember from back in the day is the Walkman Sport, and that was the real durable Walkman. It was yellow, and it was like chunkier, and it had like rubber padding on it, so you could drop it and it'd still be okay. But if you were real sporty, and it was like sweat resistant and water resistant. So if you're real sporty and you wanted to go yogging with your favorite cassette tape to keep you pumped up, you'd have your Walkman Sport. And if you look back, it's so funny to see people strapped in these Walkman and Discmans, like this, the apparatus like this big to the side of their to the sides of their waist while they're out jogging. I mean, the Walkman no-skip CD player that always skipped. That's true. I will say this about cassette tapes is cassette tapes don't skip. You could be running, you could be jumping, you could be flying all over the place, and your cassette tape is not going to skip. Your cassette player is gonna keep on trucking. It's gonna keep on going, guys. So I actually like cassette tapes. I haven't bought any in quite some time, but there's a certain durability and kind of funny uniqueness about them that's rather charming. Yeah. So save your money, don't put it into any beats. And Dr. Dre is, I'm speaking from the production side of me. I mean, he's not quite as knowledgeable as people think he is about audio. I've heard him discuss Beats products and interviews and stuff, and a few times I just kind of turned my head like, what? Huh, it didn't really quite make sense. So, but he's got the name, right? He's got the name. Mini disc solved that skipping issue. Oh yeah, mini disc. If you're feeling really ambitious, you could go home and watch one of your favorite movies on a laser disc. The short-lived laser disc. The laser disc was really cool because they were like a little bit bigger than a full-size album, and they were just like, they looked like a 14-inch compact silver platter, literally, that you'd put in your laser disc player. And it's really cool to like own a movie and packaging that big, encased in, plastic. I don't know, something cool about that, right? There's something cool about physically owning a copy of Star Wars on something like that, It's just kind of neat. Nurse Terry Reed, welcome, welcome. She says, anyone here running the Doge Core node? 30 minutes more for me, and I'll be up and running a full node. Nice. Terry, I am running one full node on my other laptop currently right now, and that's about all she can handle, for sure. So yeah, I have my old laptop. I've kind of just designated it to running a full node for now, and but yeah, congrats on getting that up and running, Terry. That's awesome. Yeah, I remember when people used to make mixtapes for each other, right? They used to back in the day, if you liked someone, if you liked a girl or a guy, you'd make them a special mixtape. I remember doing that. I made a mixtape for a girl that I met on a missions trip to Guatemala that I spent a summer at as a teenage boy, and I connected really well with this girl from Arizona, and I sent her a mixtape, and she would like write me back in snail mail and say, I've just been listening to your mixtape over and over again. I'm like, that's pretty cool. It's more like, it's obviously, technologically really, really dated and irrelevant in that regard from a technological standpoint. But at the same time, it's the effort and the thought that's put into it that gives it value, to someone. I mean, you're thinking about someone making you a mixtape. They're sitting at home. They're pressing record on one side of a dual cassette tape player, and then they're playing play, and they're lining up the song. Like, okay, go. And for about 4 minutes, they're listening. They're watching the one song, and they're like, stop. Okay, take out this other cassette tape. The next song I want to put on this mixtape is going to be on side 2. Now I got to fast forward. Now I got to rewind. Now I got to cue it up right at the beginning of this song. Ready? Record and play. Play. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Oh, what's going on, Mama Crypto? Good to see you. Good to see you. To my boo jams. Named and framed indie. That's funny. Yeah, and I remember the LimeWire days, right? In LimeWire days, you could download a lot of different MP3s and whatnot and make mix CDs out of them. Oh, yeah. Steven loves deathcore metal. I'm not the hugest fan. When I was younger, I actually played in a few pretty heavy hardcore bands. I was in high school and just out of high school. And then I kind of left those days behind and was trying to write stuff more on par with the Police and David Bowie. and failing at it for quite some time before I got some more decent songwriting chops. But I've definitely seen a fair share of those shows. I don't know about deathcore. I've seen Deicide. I've seen Cannibal Corpse. I've seen some of these bands for sure in my younger day. I remember seeing a heavy metal band that's been around for a long time called... they're like a classic metal band. The name eludes me. I think it was Accept. I think. And the whole crowd was waiting, and I had gotten free tickets to this show because my friend worked at the venue. I just thought it'd be funny, and I was right. And the crowd was waiting, and the crowd was like full of old school metal dudes, and they're just all making like zombie noises. They're all just like, it's all like in the deep dark, and you just hear waiting for this band. All of a sudden, the lights come on, the smoke is rising, and then the lead singer walks onto stage, and the first thing he says to the crowd, he says, "So, who let all the animals out of their cages?" And the whole crowd responded with, Thought I was in The Walking Dead. Swear to God. So, and my friend that I had gone with at the time, we looked at each other and I seriously almost like was peeing myself laughing. Yeah, definitely some metal fans in the chat for sure. Larry says, Larry Ramirez, good to see you, Larry, by the way. I remember my sister letting the tape player record the radio all day until she got home from high school to hopefully record a specific song she was trying to find. Yeah. You know, I grew up in a kind of a stricter household when I was younger. My father's actually a preacher, man. A great man, by the way, great man. And so I wasn't allowed to buy any secular music, so I was very into the television program Miami Vice. It just really impressed upon me. Just something super cool and gritty and dangerous and magical about it to me when I was a kid. And I thought the music that they played on Miami Vice was really awesome, so I would literally take a tape recorder and I'd put it up against the speaker of the TV when my parents weren't in the room, and I'd press record when like one of the songs came on in a Miami Vice episode. And back at that time, it was not uncommon in Miami Vice. One of the things that made it such a groundbreaking show, in my opinion, is they would allow an entire song to play without any dialogue, right? And that'd be like a 3 or 4 minute, take of like nothing but music. Now, you would never see that happen on TV now. Everything's got to be super hyper busy at all times, but the way Miami Vice was filmed and laid out and scripted, they would often do that. That's what Michael Mann's kind of his style was, and that was really cool. And I think it really laid some serious like groundwork, some iconic groundwork. I remember seeing both Nirvana and the Smashing Pumpkins in a venue, in a small venue that had no more than about 300 people that it could fit in it. Tops. Yeah. I obviously saw those both of those when I was very, very, very young. They were all ages shows. And I liked them both. My first impression was I actually liked the Smashing Pumpkins more from what I saw back then live. That was right after Smashing Pumpkins put out their first album. I think it was called Gish. Yeah, Gish. It's pretty cool. What was the story of Miami Vice? So Miami Vice, the basic premise was 2 undercover cops in Miami in the 80s, which was the apex of the cocaine wars. They called them cocaine cowboys back then, that would import just insane amounts of that drug from Colombia into Miami. And consequently, it just injected the city full of money, like big money, but also big corruption and violence. And so, and you can see this stuff's pretty well documented. And so there was a period in the 80s where Miami was just wild that way. And so Miami Vice was set in that vibe and that scene. And so, and had like all the cool music to go along with it. It was the first like drama on TV that didn't always have like a happy ending, especially for like cop related stuff. So the endings would always, not always, but sometimes like they would end with like a character that you wouldn't expect like dying. And then you'd be like, whoa, and then just be really intense. Or it'd end with you know, the protagonist, Sonny Crockett, his girlfriend, like leaving him and not coming back and stuff like that. But the way everything was done was super stylized and pretty cool. I think it really holds up the test of times. The test of time, whatever. What's going on, Mix Atlanta? Good to see you in the mix. In the mix. But yeah, let's take a look at this charting here, guys. Yeah, just pretty unremarkable. We are up, but we are sideways. We are in a much better place than we were 1 week ago, but there's really not anything to write home about. I don't really see this changing substantially for at least another week, guys. At least another week, and that's okay. That's okay. It's really easy to get impatient when you follow this stuff on a daily basis and you're just waiting for that big breakout, right? And it's coming, but every day can't be breakout day. If you watch Narcos, end of season 2, I think he says, "I'm going to Miami." I was like, "Yep, beginning of Miami." Yeah, I have seen that. I've seen that. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep. And Narcos basically is the arrow-wise, I think that takes place in more like the late 70s, early 80s, right before that evolution that I was talking about in Miami Vice. So, yeah, I thought Narcos was pretty well done. Hey, Miles G Investments. Good to see you, Miles. Miles G in the mix. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. So, another thing that's interesting to potentially speculate about is obviously I'm sure most all of you saw the super adorable picture of Elon Musk's dog Floki that got posted today. I think it's a possibility anyway. It's a possibility that this could be a precursor hint to perhaps the Dogecoin Tesla announcement. Could this be a hint that this is emerging in the very near future? Yeah, I think that's one thing. That's one thought that crossed my mind yesterday as I was thinking about this. I definitely think this could happen. I definitely think that's what it could be, rather. Axie's going nuts again. You know what's so funny about that trucking all day is I was going to reallocate some BNB into Axie yesterday, but then I had the thought, I'm like, I think it's kind of at the top right now for a while, and I didn't do it. But and this is not financial advice, but I do think, even now the more that you mention it there, I do think that there's probably a fair amount of room there to still make money on Axie. Another subsect that I've been looking into is Sandbox. I think Sandbox has a lot of nice potential as well, investment-wise. And then obviously, you guys know Metabots, that I'm pretty bullish on. Metabots is stabilized at a nice level, and it's doing pretty well. Let's take a look at that stuff now, and then we'll take a look at the general market. Yeah, so Metabots has found itself comfortably at a nice floor. Floki, I'm still trying to figure out. I don't know where the Floki token's going, because its pumps in relation to Floki pictures are pretty unremarkable. The bigger pumps seem to happen with that particular token upon the anticipation of such events rather than the actual event. And this isn't something that's just unique to this token. This happens a lot in crypto. But even at that, you're not talking about huge surges anymore with it. And it could very well be that those surges become less and less significant going on. But there is a substantial marketing budget behind this project too that you don't typically see. So that's kind of a wild card, right? That's kind of a wild card. So we'll see how that shakes out. But don't get discouraged, guys. Don't get discouraged, because we could be seeing the market trade fairly sideways as it is right now up until mid-October. But these are all still really good signs. These are all bull run signs, bullish signs that I think that are going to really kick in. But I don't think it's going to kick in quite yet for at least another week before it really picks up. Mina T, good to see you, Mina T. Hi back. But there are a lot of respected analysts that are seeing and predicting Bitcoin upwards of $300,000. I think that's definitely going to happen. I don't know how soon it's going to happen. I'm not even sure where to put a timeline on that. But I do think that we're going to get there for sure. Consequently, where is that going to put Ethereum? Where is that going to put Dogecoin? Bitcoin's still going to have a lot of. We're going to be living under Bitcoin dominance for a long time, and that's not necessarily a bad thing in some regards. But I think that other shoe's going to drop at some point, and Bitcoin's going to be making the gains unlike we've ever seen before, and that's going to have a cascading effect and impact both Ethereum and Dogecoin substantially, I think. So, I tweeted out earlier today something along the lines of Bitcoin to 300,000, Ethereum to 20K, Doge to $5. I think all that's very probable. I wasn't just thrown out to be like ridiculous. I think eventually all those numbers are going to happen. 1 year from now, crypto will change our lives. Trucking all day. Thank you, Trucking all day. First of all, thank you for your continued support of the show. Thank you for your 5 months of membership and all your support and awesomeness. And I agree with you. With each passing year, the life-changing effects that crypto is having on us is going to really take hold. I mean, even in 12 months from now, those of us who have the patience, I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised on how things shake out. Trucking all day, my first super chat. It took about an hour. My first super chat of the night, but thank you, Trucking all day. Appreciate you, man. $10 super chat. Steven, thanks for the consistency in the Dogecoin community. Appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah, rain or shine, market up or down. I try to be here for you guys. Heck to the dude, you're right. That dog is sitting inside a white Tesla. That's right. Tesla will likely be accepting Doge very soon. Yeah, that's the thing. When you look at that picture of Floki, it's on a Tesla, guys. It's on a white Tesla. I had this thought last night, but then when I saw the actual picture today, it even reaffirmed that thought. And then I think I saw on earlier today on Matt's stream, it came up too, and I was like, okay, I'm not the only one thinking this. I'm sure Miles has thought about it too, if he's still in here. But yeah. Any new guests lined up, Steele? Good question. Yes and no. I'm having, if you remember, Julia Love. Gonna have Julia Love back here soon, within the next week and a half. I'm campaigning to get Sadaf, get her back on here. I really want to work Sadaf back in the mix. And then yes, I have another guest I just confirmed. Let me check my inbox, because I don't want to speak too soon, but it looked like we were about to confirm. Yes, it's been confirmed. So sometime within the next 2 weeks at the most. I don't think it'll be that long, but it will be Leah Halpern. You know Leah Halpern? I think she's awesome. An English, fantastic English woman into crypto and kind of social commentary kind of stuff. And she's got a channel, and she just put out a book called Undressing Bitcoin. So I'm going to have Leah Halpern on. So that will be, I will announce the date on that soon. Yeah, sorry, I'm just reading your comments, catching up here. So yeah, definitely got some guests coming up here. How's Sam been? I haven't talked to Sam in literally like a month. I know she's in Australia as well, and she got really caught up in the whirlwind and tumultuous whirlwind of everything going on there sociopolitically. So I think she kind of just taking a break, you know, between that and family from all things crypto related. But yeah, I'd love to get Sam back in the mix at some point. That's just life, you know. Some people kind of come and go. You know, there's a lot of resistance though, guys, right at, and I was talking about this last night, right at 21.8. And we kept coming back up to that. I thought we were going to get up to past 22, even on its way to 23 cents by yesterday morning, but it didn't happen. So I didn't call that one right. But yeah, I'm going to post probably early tomorrow the link to the show I did with Ross Nickel earlier. So, or probably after I even just get off the stream, I'll post that. Good night, Zombie Doge Army. Thanks for hanging out. So let's check out some market stuff. See what it's doing, see what's going on. So Bitcoin currently is trading just under 48,000, which is pretty solid, guys. It's been trading pretty much sideways all day today, up almost 9% now for the week. The volume on Bitcoin right now is just absolutely wild and really encouraging. Ethereum right now is riding about 33. Going towards 3,400. Again, it's been trading sideways most of the day, down about 1%. But overall, for the week, it's up 8%. XRP is trading sideways today, up about 7% for the week, and still down almost 20% in totality the last 30 days. But I don't see that sticking. ADA Cardano is at about $2.19. Down about 4% for the day, down about 3% for the week, and down about 26% for the month. So a bit more rough going for ADA. But also keep in context, ADA is going through a bigger correction than a lot of the other cryptos because they had such a incredible breakout bull run that went on its own that the others did not. XLM Stellar Lumens is trading right about a little over 30 cents sideways right now, down about 4.5% for the day, but still up about 8% for the week, and then for the month, still down at a 16% deficit. Now, guys, we are going to see, as I believe, as the month continues, those previous 30-day deficits will not only be stabilized, but start looking a lot more in the green. And I think this has a high probability of really kicking in strongly, like I said, at the beginning of the month, continuing all the way through the majority of the winter into the new year. I think 2022, we are going to see some parabolic gains to the likes of which no one's ever seen in crypto, honestly. It's really shaping up that way. The that it goes in regards to the NFT space as well. Ross is doing really good. He's just really busy, but he and I had a pretty good talk, almost a 2-hour talk today on his Twitch channel. I've been encouraging to try to move more over to YouTube. He's doing it slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. I really enjoyed the chemistry between you two. Yeah, Ross is one of those guys. It's just like sometimes you just meet someone, you start talking to him, and you just flow really well, and you're just kind of like, it's easy breezy, and you just get along with someone more exceptionally than normal. And I think that's kind of the rapport that Ross and I have for sure. For sure. Let's see here. Has anyone mentioned that Elon's PFP looks like a Doge rocket? Yeah, I can see it. I don't think anyone's here mentioned it, but yeah, I can see it. And then Grimes came out with a picture, some photographs of her reading a Marxist manifesto right off the heels of her breakup with Elon Musk. That gives me total. I mean, some people maybe find that edgy and clever. I just think it struck me as rather cliche and Marie Antoinette-esque. I don't know. I think Elon can. I think he deserves an upgrade. That's what I think. Did anyone see the California oil spill? My goodness, yeah. A little bit. I don't keep up with the general news cycle quite as much as I used to, but big oil. Yeah, man. It's a mess. Big oil's a big fat mess. Is the bridge ready? So the Doge Ethereum bridge is it's completed. It's just a matter of bringing it into an applicable I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, guys. Sorry, it's been a long day. It's been a long day. Been a long week. But the Doge Ethereum bridge is finished. It's just a matter of bringing it to market. And actually, the Doge Ethereum bridge, as far as what the Doge devs could do with it and their contributions to it, that work was actually done quite a while ago, and then it was passed back off to, is my understanding, to the Ethereum development team for fine tuning. Yeah, I just had like one of those brain freezes before. I'm like, I don't even know what word I'm trying to find right now. They've been talking about the bridge for years. It's been 84 years. No, they have and they haven't. You know, I mean, they have, but not to the degree with involvement from people like Vitalik Buterin and both development teams. I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen in 2022 for sure. Fruition, thank you. That's a good word. Into fruition. All right. You were working as a waitress in a cocktail bar. Sorry, I have to text someone back quick. Trucking All Day, again, coming through with $5 super chat. Thank you, Trucking. Appreciate it. Can you look at AGLD? It's 1 month old and already on Coinbase, over 70 million circulation. Has the Loot investment project involved. I've heard of AGLD for sure, and we're going to look it up now. Just give me a moment. That's just so AGLD stands for, you guys, Adventure Gold Price Today. Today. Yeah, so getting a Coinbase listing is, it's a pretty serious mark of the success of a project, success of a developer. So AGLD is closely tied with the NFT scene. And it looks like they have like a line of NFTs associated with it. Through the Loot community, like Truckin' said. And it's based off of one of these things too that's created around, the hype of a yet-to-be-created game. This is a pretty common pivot right now in projects like this. Okay, I mean, just from looking at a little bit there, what my first impressions are this. I think it's got a very strong, loyal community of investors. It's definitely seems to be on the forefront of some aspects of the NFT market. There's also a lot of competition in that space too. Anytime someone just throws out, "Oh, well, we're going to create a video game," my eyebrow goes a little bit like this, like, okay. I mean, I guess that's cool, but what else you got? So just be careful there. I think there's money to be made there. I think for sure in the short term, as far as a super long-term hold, I'm not sold on it from what I'm seeing so far, but for right now, obviously the bullish momentum is with it, and I still think there's high probability of some decent money to be made there in the general short term. That's my first impression of it, without diving super deep into it. XRP Lambo. Yeah, I think XRP's got a very strong future. XRP is one of those cryptos where the only reason why I'm not invested more in it is because I just don't have the capital to do it. I mean, people haven't asked me, how come you're not invested in this project? Don't you like it? I'm like, yeah, I like it just fine. I only have so much money to invest, It's nothing personal. Let's see here. It's streaming about an hour here. All right, gang. Unless you got any more questions, I might start winding this one down. So just let me know. It's Boobas. Anyone into cryptos? There's a lot of that going on. A lot of Booba-related NFT projects. I noticed there's just a lot of that going on right now. All right, guys. I think I'm going to close this one down. I didn't intend on being on super long tonight. I just kind of wanted to touch base with you guys and say what's up and have a fun little hangout. But thank you guys so much for coming out, and really appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow night at the earlier time at around 9:30ish Central Standard Time. So yeah. And again, thank you guys so much for hanging out and being awesome. And thank you, Truckin' All Day, for buying my lunch tomorrow. I appreciate it. Stephen, I watched Squid Game. No, I haven't watched it, but I've been hearing a ton about it. I don't have a Netflix membership. I don't know. I got turned off by Netflix. Are you waiting for a wallet, Robinhood, like me? They're going to come out with wallets. It's just a matter of when and how long they're going to drag it out. All right. Anyway, thank you guys, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Take care, everyone. Thank you, guys.
If we operate with extreme urgency, then we have a chance of making life multiplanetary. Still just a chance, not for sure. If we don't act with extreme urgency, that chance is probably zero. And the rate of innovation is not going to be constant. It's either going to increase the rate of innovation, or it's going to slow down. If you look at American access to space with Crew, we were able to go to the moon in '69. Then with the space shuttle, we could only go to low Earth orbit. And the space shuttle retired, and then for almost a decade, there was no America had no access to space with people. So this is a pretty bad trend. It's trending to zero.
Right.
We need a very strong trend in the other direction in order to have any chance whatsoever of making life multiplanetary.
Yep.
So that's the reason for the extreme sense of urgency.
build the technologies necessary to make life multiplanetary. To answer more seriously, if you consider the nature of importance itself and say, how do you tell that anything is important? Well, the lens of history is a helpful guide here. And the more you zoom out, the more you can distinguish the things that are important over a great span of time, the truly important things, versus things that may seem important in the moment but are forgotten once that moment has passed.